Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to Stock Market Technical Analysis Daily. Today is Friday, April the 16th, 2021. It is the monthly expiration for option, folks. I'm not sure what that means to you, but this is the overall week. Market makers, their job is pretty much to look at all outstanding options and to try to maximize the profits overall, because they know the more the stock move, the more option traders make money. At least some option traders make money, as long as they're willing to accept uh, the risk in both directions. So as such, typically this type of Friday, it happened the third Friday of each month. If you are new to the stock market, so typically the movements are very random, meaning random to us traders, but not definitely random to uh, market makers, because they do that on purpose. So as such, here in the pre-markets, I am not sure we are never sure what to expect on OPEX, because to be honest with you, you will think intuitively, some we may think that sometimes on OPEX like this, the market will be bearish or anything. No. Fridays like this ones, especially late in the afternoon, that's where you see melt up. Well, they did that yesterday on SPY, so that helps as a transition for the stock market technical analysis daily. On here, let's start with SPY as we usually do. So this was something from a study last night. SPY gap up yesterday, folks, from 411 49, it gapped to 413.77, and the entire day, I mean, maybe once, only once. Go back and look how many times. I mean, maybe we have been seeing it lately. Can you remember a day where SPY never went below exponential moving average 8? Meaning, the exponential moving average 8, we know at the open is not the closest indicator to the price. That's why we use early to enter trade in the morning. The closest indicator to the price is called VWAP. So we can see on here how SPY opened slightly below VWAP on the first 15 minutes. The second candle wasn't there. The third candle above VWAP. The fourth candle even posted a brand new high of the day and off the went, and the rising EMA 8. So where does that put SPY overall on a daily chart? Here. But there's still room. There's still room on the upper Bollinger Band. So where's the upper Bollinger Band? 419. I'm going to try to do them a service and run it up to 420. Yeah? So could it be that around 415 later today? Yes, because of expiration for SPY and the other ETFs for options, not the stock themselves. For options is all the way to 4:15 Eastern Time. So will we be seeing SPY at 4:20 Eastern Time later today? I don't know about you, but I will definitely make sure to be scrutinizing this in the last hour, in the last 90 minutes of like. They love, that's what algos they love doing. So meaning after they spend the day on this expiration, they just burning theta meaning that as time passes by, if the stocks are not moving, the price of the option come down, the premium come down. So that's for market makers, people who like us who buy those options. We lose money and they make money. That's the name of the game in option trading, and there is no better day to witness that than on the monthly expiration. There are other expiration every Friday, right? But this monthly expiration, why is it important? That's where there is the highest amount of open interest. You can check, let's say today, obviously, you can check that. You can compare today, for instance, to next Friday. Yeah? And then the following Friday, because the previous Friday is gone. You don't have that. But if you go to an option chain of one of your favorite stock, and I'm not going to ask you the question, what's your favorite stock? You know my answer to that. If you don't, ask me in our coaching session. So you will see that the open interest for third Friday of the month is the highest. Because the other reason is that some stock, but even for stock that have expiration every Friday, some stocks do not have expiration every single Friday. They only have expiration once a month. We know some of those. They are not bad to trade. So meaning that, let's say on a week like this one, the monthly expiration matches weekly if you are trading it. But I've used trade on monthly. They can actually be nice. There is a stock that I use to trade a lot, D Dominion, which has only monthly expiration. Or more recently, we showcased with you here, we made money on Vuzi using the monthly expiration, and we made money actually in both directions. Yeah, because there was time left, so we started a trade. It was bearish, and then it became bullish. Speaking of Vuzi, where is it today? Normally, by the pattern that we shared with you that they have been using, the algos have been using on Vuzi. All right, here we go, folks. Yeah, this pattern has happened now 5 times. 5 times. These are things that I teach in coaching session. So let me highlight this pattern on here on Vuzi because it works, folks. As long if it's not broke, why change it, right? The algos will continue to use that. So I'm trying to draw. Okay, I'm trying to draw here. So bloop, 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 bloop. Here's my ellipse. So here we go. From outside of the upper Bollinger. So this is where we use it last, after noticing it here. Yeah. So let me make sure that you guys can see all of them in the screen sharing. So here's one. It's the first one was around January the 26th. In 4 days, the stock lost 37%. Then we have another one here around March the 4th. In 4 days, the stock lost 50%, minus 51%. Yeah, oh, I missed this one. So started on here actually December 22nd. I didn't quantify that one. So minus 37%, minus 36% here in 2 days. This was February 22nd, the second one. The third one on here, March the 4th. The fourth one, which we took advantage of on starting March the 23rd. So it took it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. In this case, let's measure this move. It worked to perfection. I think I apologize. I don't remember the name of the trader with whom I first highlighted this in a coaching session. So this is it here. From March the 23rd through March the 30th, the stock loss minus 35%. And Lord behold, this is the same pattern on here. More recently, April the 9th. We are currently April the 16th. And the stock has gone in a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days from. So that's there, and I'm going to measure the distance of the move here with the tools. Minus 29.8% in 5 days. So these patterns, if you're able to spend time studying stock charts, yeah, you stand to take advantage of move that's the algo. So this stock has had a propensity of running up to the natural resistance, the upper Bollinger, and then retreating relatively quickly, and it has monthly expiration. So now, my friend, what do you think going to happen? Because we can use the reverse. It's not that because we have a bias, a bearish bias or anything. I told you we made money last time in both directions. Yeah. So in this case here, now it has come back. So guess what? Chances are maybe today or maybe sometime next week, they are going to, when they reach the bottom, the bottom on here for us, I mean, could it be $21 or thereabout? This stock will bounce. And what we know is that each time it's posting a slightly higher value. So meaning that as of now, the trade to be highlighting here for next month expiration on Vuzi will be, we don't know when that bounce going to be. So we need to be careful, right? When it hit the bottom here, the support here have been around 22. So today, for instance, could be a good time for it to drop. So on weakness today, we can start building that position because we are not sure. When I say start building that position, meaning I don't buy all of the contracts at once. Yeah. So for a target price of, let's say we can use 35 for May 2021 expiration. This is, so yeah, so I went offside on well, off the tangent on here by looking at the chart, but this is what we do here in stock market technical analysis each and every day. So Good morning to you. So to those, let's say hello to Mr. Joe. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Good evening, because we last spoke late evening yesterday, your time. So you can see I'm saying good morning, Miss Marcy. Good afternoon, Mr. T, Mr. Paul. Glad to have you. All right. So that's what brought us here on Vuzi. We were talking about SPY and patterns that we see in stock. Very quickly, the other ETFs on here, QQQ. Uh, QQQ, I mean, it has had one red day over the last 14 days, over the last 15 days, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So this here, it's another case of, hey, have on this time frame, the daily time frame, here's a stock that's posted kind of, it's not that every single day is higher, but the trend is definitely bullish, right? So again, same thing, as the same remark as we made on SPY. In late today, whatever they want to do, they can make moves around the close between 3 p.m. and 4:15 p.m. So since QQQ also had expiration on Friday today, definitely we can apply that late technique on that ETF. The other ETF that we usually look at here as well, an attacked ETF. Oh dear me. IWM. This is the small cap, the Russell 2K. Notice its pattern. This is its daily chart for IWM. Yep, we can see that there. Its pattern does not look like SPY and QQQ. No, it has been struggling actually recently, just going sideways. So in this case here, the Bollinger Band, they are tightening up, meaning that a big move is expected here shortly. We don't know which direction, but a big move. But as of now, you ask me, is it bearish? Is it bullish? It's above the moving average, and I'm seeing a slight uptick of the yellow line, the exponential moving average, so meaning that it's trying. Well, how do we know it's trying? Look at the high the 2 days ago. The high 2 days ago was higher than the 4 previous days. That's an indication that the stock is doing something. Yeah. So either you see a low, a brand new low, a lower price being posted that hasn't been recently, or a higher price being posted that hasn't been recently, but that price wasn't sustained on here. So I'm going to keep an eye on IWM. Late on Fridays, on Friday like this, I will not be surprised, because this market is so random, guys. You have no, it's very difficult to see stocks that are doing two consecutive days confirming a direction. Yeah, well, we saw SPY and IWM, but most of the stock, one day the candle is green, one day the next day the candle is red, without any type of explanation or whatsoever. So for me, IWM, it's one that I'm keeping an eye. They have expiration today, so they lend themselves into being traded, because as you know, on expiration day, these stocks, all of the stock, they have the price of the premium on the option on the contract gets relatively cheaper. That's what we're going for. All right, so that's the high level view of the market. So definitely, of the three ETFs, IWM is the one that's not, I have no idea of telling you that I know that's going to be moving, but I'm looking for a move onto it, because why? It has been going sideways lately. So that's on the ETF. In terms of looking at the I love that picture. In terms of looking at the movers, yeah, one idea about trading the stock market is to come in pre-market and find stock that are moving, because chances are, if a stock is moving in pre-market, it has volume. Meaning, what does it mean? It means that there are traders who are already interested in that stock, yeah, and more of those traders, they will be eager to trade it when the session open. That's the basis of pre-markets and analyzing pre-market. So in pre-market on here for us, we use Finviz, and you can come on here, say these are just some easy filters that we have chosen, really. Optionable above $20, and then we just sort it here. Yeah, I know there is a gap feature on here, but if you just say change, it ranks them from the biggest change in both directions, right? So in this case here, we can see the bearish one. So Riot, this is a stock that's pretty much every single day. Riot finds itself either on the bearish side on top or on the bullish side on top. This morning is starting lower on here. Recently, looking at the daily chart that you are seeing on there as I'm hovering over it, the stock hasn't had any direction, right? Because you can see that the price that we're currently trading at, it was trading around there late in March, so has just been going sideways. But even in this sideways, I mean, the patterns has been in range bound between $40 and $60. And usually I will say, oh, it's not good for us to trade, for option traders to trade sideways. But this is not a bad sideways, because if you have recognized that pattern, that means that you will have been taking a bearish stand around 60, and then you will have been taking a bullish stand around $40. So right now the stock is trading at 44. So let's see on here what it is to do. A similar thing here I observed recently. I put an alert on Marat from on TradingView. You should know how to generate an alert. That alert triggered yesterday, and I looked at it. I was like, okay, let me be patient because of expiration, because I know that market makers, they love to take through. But the point on here was that, hey, look at this chart, right? Marat shows about support or resistance that became support. It used to be resistance before around $40. So now it's trading at 39.77. So if it let that level go, if it break below that level, definitely the next level is $30. That's what the technical analysis shows on the chart. Overall here, since late February, we can see though that, okay, this stock is really trying to break out, yeah, from that previous resistance at 40. So things to follow on that. But Mara is another one that we call high volatile stock. Each and every day you come in pre-market, you will see Mara move in either direction. That's on the bearish direction. In the bullish direction, there is a stock that I want to take a look at. Oh yeah, congratulations. If you were with us yesterday, we traded QS. QS is one of those tiny stock. QS went as high as 70. I mean, tiny compared to the $500 that you see on Netflix, Nvidia. Nvidia is at $600, folks. Oh my goodness. Oh, that doesn't make me young. My first time I traded Nvidia, I always say that for those of you who are watching this or you have heard me say on video, my first time I traded Nvidia, earnings May 14, 2016, and it was trading at $35 or so. It's earning. Yes, at the time I didn't know any better. I traded earnings on Nvidia and I made money because that was the beginning of the run for Nvidia. That later that year, Nvidia will finish the year at $100. Trading day of the year. It's something epic. If you can replay that tape of Nvidia, the finish was just something. Well, for me, it was my first time to see stock do the type of move that Nvidia posted that day. But that's a story that I will be putting in a book or something. So yeah, Nvidia is trading over $600. The sky is the limit, folks. But back to QS yesterday. We identified QS yesterday here by strictly looking at this chart, right? We told you here yesterday, for those who were with us, I know we were not that many of us, that hey, $40 has been support. How do we know that? The stock has bounced 1, 2, 3 previous time at that level. Yesterday, it could not sustain that level. It gapped down, and the move wasn't. I mean, the stock opened at 36 or something. Actually, I was distracted, which helped me, meaning we didn't have to rush into the trade. It bounced off a little bit, went to 38 or something. Then we enter some 35 puts. They went in the money. They paid very nicely. So, QS. It's in no man's land as of now. It has fallen below its previous support at 40. It's anybody guess what's going to happen. So it's starting, well, slightly up 3.4% today. So let's say if it can try to bounce back, if that's the case, then it will present a trade going into next week for it to reverse back. That's what the stock market do, right? So one stock that I want us to take a look at this morning that's gapping slightly, but as time is passing by, I mean, is returning back to its previous values. DraftKings, yeah, this one is in the gambling industry. Yeah, we can call it like that. The sector is consumer cyclical, right? So I think what's the news? I don't look at news, folks. The price of the stock tells me if I need to trade it or not. So it was gapping about 4% thereabout. So let's go to the chart, because I have the chart. This is the daily chart of DraftKings. What do we see on here? The stock, like many stock, posted a high. This one as of now easy to look at, but I think when we are trading live, meaning that if I were to put you here on March the 22nd without giving us we didn't know what will be happening forward, right? So what do we see? 3 candles where the stock failed to close above 72. That's natural resistance. In this case, this even pattern on here technical analysis has a name, but it needs to form before we say it. So here we could have just suspected that potentially that could be happening. This is a triple top, meaning that 3 times a stock went and had a top, yeah, and had a resistance at a level. So the previous time, here what it did, the second time it came back for and then found support at the EMA 20, that's our green line. And then the third time, more recently on from March the 22nd, it fell, folks. Pretty much every single day was lower lows. Yeah, this fell. And on this date here, by the time actually the EMA 8 crossed below the EMA 20, the death cross, the famous death cross, the price was already down. The price was already down. For us, we have seen that when we're analyzing the daily chart, the direction, the slope of the EMA 8 tells us whether we are if the stock is bearish or bullish, really, because one day it doesn't give you a trend. Yeah, those moving averages, they give you a trend because they are looking, they contain the history of the stock. The EMA 8 is looking at the 8 recent stock. The EMA 20 is looking at the last 20 stocks, and then that's what is giving the direction of that stock. So the slope of the EMA here, 8 here, and even 20 later on told us pretty much what was going on DraftKings. So as long as the price stay below the yellow line, which is behaving now as a natural resistance, the trend is still bearish. So this morning is trying to gap a little bit. I was thinking, okay, fine, well, let's just get interested on here and do a GangstA trade on here. I'm not so keen on that because as of now I wanted it to gap up a little bit more, but maybe they're playing coy on here. In any case, let us keep an eye on at this level. Why? Always look to the left on the chart. This price of 57.5 has acted as a strong support previously for DraftKings. How do we know that? Let me give you the instances. Starting here, the first to the furthest left. February 2nd, this bounced at 57.42, and over the next 4 days, it proceeded to go to 64. This is a bounce here again, February 18. In 3 days, went from 56.52 to a high of 63. This is another bounce off here on this candle, February 23rd, and the run that day, I mean, granted the earning help, it went all the way to $72. Here's another one on here on March the 5th. Yeah, how many bounces off of that level have we seen so far? 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth one, and it took it all the way in a matter of 5 days to a high of 74. Here's another most recent bounce on here. On March the 30th, this bounce started from 57.90 all the way, but it faced resistance at the EMA 8 and 20 at 64. So folks, this could be the beginning of that reversal. And more recently, just this week alone, right, four times the price hit this level of 57.5 and then at least either stay there. Yesterday was actually the first day that it was closing below a line of 58. If you can look at this chart. And then, surprise, surprise, news came in today and the stock is gapping. I mean, just based on those reasons alone, we have to be able to set up a trade on here because the stock is telling us that, oh, from a technical point of view, something going to be happening. Really, to be on the safe side, I think my recommendation will be expiration for the next week, April the 23rd, yeah, and you get a nice entry on there. If you want to use a GangstA trade expiring today, yeah, I don't think I will refuse that. Actually myself. So what type of strike price are we going to use? Geez, the stock is trading at 59. I'm going to try to go, I don't know, because this thing is really, so 62.63. So 62.63, and I'm trying to get them for 10 cents. And then on the bearish side, yeah, because we have to be, so we can take 54, 55. We're trying to get those for 10 cents. If that doesn't go, that's fine. We just look at the charts, the direction of the chart. After 30 minutes, most charts, they will give us a direction. If they don't give us a direction, by the end of the day, the chart will give us an idea how to trade DraftKings going forward, because this area here, this price level here has been support in the past. So it could not be a surprise if, let's say, next week we find this stock. That's how this market goes. So this is the so-called W shape that they love. So I've drawn this W before on some other stock. They didn't take, right? We have seen stock like if we go to Baidu that have done that. So that's the stock that for me, that was moving, definitely was the one moving the most. They did this in this morning pre-market. As I say that, I'm not, let me take another look here. Most of the other stock, I mean, I don't see that much movement. It doesn't mean that, hey, they will not move. So that this is DraftKings on here. That's the one that's moving the most on this Friday. All right, folks. I hope this gave you a glimpse of what's how we can take advantage of the market. So in summary, the ETFs definitely, because it's Friday. The one that we are really we have a dashboard where I'm looking at all three of them. IWM, keeping a keen eye on it, and then DraftKings on here this morning. For a subscriber, yes, we didn't post a list of trade alerts for next week. No worries, I will post it today. Definitely. Typically, we like to post it on Fridays, but we will still have a list to use all the way today. Right, the brand new list will be posted sometime today. Thank you everybody for your time. Have a great weekend, and we will get into the middle of the earnings season, starting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. So more opportunities definitely to come on here. Thank you everybody. Have a great trading session. Bye bye. Yes sir, Mr. Joe. Yes, we talked about that yesterday. I failed to create my watch list, but I already have the stocks. So I just need to spend that 15 minutes that I haven't had to create the watch list. Actually, the list of the stock is too big to be honest with you. Meaning I have to make some harsh decision on that list. We will have a list of new stocks today. Absolutely. Thank you. Bye bye.